Ramadan has fast approached people, and what I will try to do is this Ramadan, I will try to keep certain episodes going. Okay, because I think it would be nice, and I also feel that I've not been able to do as many episodes just because of preoccupations and things that have been happening, and uh, my mother's health, and a lot of and other things as well. So yeah, so but I more and above just that the void. It's the fact that I have this feeling that I have this wanting to. It's like I want to do that. So yeah, inshallah, let's do that. And what I would say is, look, a few people had asked me um, about Ramadan, and I want to highlight that. Look, this, don't feel burdened by any way. Do not, sometimes we can get stressed out. It happens to all of us. We can think, oh man, I've got this to do. I've got to get this work done. I've got to get, um, oh man, now I'm not going to be eating well. I've got exams. I've got, I need caffeine. Oh my God, I'm going to lose size because my muscles, I won't be feeding protein. It's surprising. I'm going to feel drowsy without my food. I'm going to feel ditzy and, just fatigued and lethargic. And we've all had these thoughts. Everybody has thought and it's normal, it's human, it's the fitrah. Okay. But I want to tell you something. Honestly, I encourage you all to, on YouTube, type in things like the benefits of intermittent fasting. There's many videos. There's a Dr. Berg, Berg. There's a few people with so many with the data, with the science, with the feedback, with qualifications, medical, with holistic qualification. You'll have people that are so health positive, breaking down to you and for you these things. Because look, just take and I don't want you to misunderstand this. I'm not trying to say we'll come in a moment to the religious thing, but believe me, our worldly perspective shapes how we see things. People see fasting as, oh, I'm just going to be hungry and not have coffee and not have food. And oh my God, I'm going to be just grumpy and I'm going to be like this. And that's because they are seeing it worldly. These people need to just have a watch of some of these videos. They'll be like 10 minutes long. You can watch them at double speed if you like. They will show you it's phenomenal. The health, the benefits, the mental benefits, the health benefits of fasting so long, and they will guide you on what not to do. So don't go crazy with all this fatty foods and all this stuff when you do iftar and when you do this. Allow your body to trigger something called autophagy. It's actually where the body turns on itself and starts eating some of its self within, which sounds bizarre. But actually, once the body enters, usually once fasting has become a pattern, within something like 36 to 48 hours, the body goes into a state of autophagy, so long as you're not ruining it with all these ridiculously fatty foods. If you're eating healthy in between, what that does is it will, although it sounds freaky, but the body will turn on what it will start to do is it will start to turn on any uh, any potentially cancerous cells. And we all have these kind of cells, by the way. So we have cells at a very small molecular level that are malreproducing, but the body is it's gradually destroying them. It doesn't allow them to develop to a certain state. It's the body starts to eliminate all of these. You will find that the body within days will start to work on resetting insulin to a certain, it will start to free up radicals, it will start to work on trying to free certain stem cells. You will see the mental clarity that the body is providing you. You will find yourself losing unhealthy body weight. The fats, the body will start resorting to consuming the fats. You will be so surprised how powerful the body is. You'll be so surprised. I mean, it is all, we have been misinformed. I'm telling you. You will start to realize, I didn't actually need the amount of food I was eating. That, this, to give you an example, people have done this to bizarre lengths. This on YouTube, you can see that there was this person who actually fasted like that, abstaining from all foods, obviously drank water. He could have teas and coffees if he wanted, took vitamins. He did it under medical surveillance. He fasted for 13 months. I mean, I'm not suggesting you do that, but 13 months. No, it goes without say, when he began, he was obese. By the time he finished, he was absolutely healthy. Not only was he healthy, his diabetes had disappeared, his insulin had been reset entirely. And doctors thought that that's crazy. As soon as he starts eating, it'll come back. With follow-up checks after 5 years, no, they found his insulin was just as healthy. Look, you will be surprised. That's a ridiculous amount. You will find this happening within weeks. Within 2 weeks, your body will be resetting so many things that we just don't allow it to reset because we keep eating. We keep eating. Since I've watched these videos, and there's so many, the science in it, the knowledge is undeniable. Since I've watched it, I've stopped. I've pushed now I just have brunch. I do not have breakfast. I will just eat at probably earliest 11:30 or noon. And it's amazing what it's done to my body. It's so, look, what I'm saying is, just from a worldly perspective, know that there is so much, wallahi, when I started, I ended up watching these videos because because of my mum's health. I got onto them and I started watching, and then one thing after another, and YouTube brings you more and more, and you start watching more. Wallahi, it changed my life, or an incredibly significant part of it. It reshaped. I used to think breakfast was the most important meal of the day. That's nonsense. It is not. And we in the Western world, where we constantly eat, are providing ourselves with so much, like the body has everything it needs to fix itself for the most part. The problem is we don't allow it because we're constantly, you see, it's under stress. It's like it's got to hold up some weight, but if you give it enough time, it could push the weight up, but we keep loading it. So we're having breakfast now, it's having to digest that, the liver's having to store the fatty deposits, it's having to break things down, the kidneys are at work before, just as it's finishing, it hasn't even finished, it's smacking down more lunch, it's having to deal with more, the gut microbiome is being messed up, we're trying to clear up that. In between, we're throwing all these fatty foods, this junk, this just desserts and sweets and sugar, and we're throwing sugar, and we're doing this day in, day out to the body. I'm telling you, the two lead causes for cancer, contrary to what you may imagine, two lead causes are food and stress. It's what you eat and stress. These are the leading causes. Sure, a person could be, they could be exposed to certain radiation, a person could smoke and maybe they develop things. And it could happen. I'm not saying, but the main leading causes you'll find are these two. It's the nutrition. One, they say now that every, I think every, is it one out of every 2 or 3 men in his lifetime will now have cancer. That's, and I think for women, is it one out of every 3 or 4? So it's slightly less. But the, this is simply coming down to, it's not much else has changed for humans. It's our diet. We're eating processed foods, we're eating junk, we're flooding our systems with sugar. Now, look, Ramadan is a beautiful opportunity. Look, it's there anyway. It's there anyway. Look what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, Sumu tasihu. He said, fast, you will gain good health. That's counterintuitive. It doesn't make any sense to people. They're thinking, well, no, I'll have less strength. I'll have less. No. You see, you think that. Yes, there's a small brief moment where you'll find the hormones kind of being released, ghrelin being released, which triggers the hunger response, but that gets subdued. Then the body will start turning on malignant elements within it and eating it during this state of autophagy. It will also start providing clarity. Hence, you find people who fast between 36 to 72 hours, they result in laser sharp clarity, mental focus. You can watch this on YouTube. People will be recording. They'll be shocked how clear their thinking is. That they're expecting the opposite. So, and the irony was, you see, this is why you see in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, you see the companions, you see they're struggling, you see in battles, a lack of food, but they would fast. And you see, whilst the Sassanid armies were thinking, haha, that's funny, that's interesting, we're going to eat up all this food for energy. And the Muslims, on many occasions, were fasting. Many of the greatest conquests in Islam happened during Ramadan. Right throughout Islamic history. And you think, well, they're not going to have energy. You see, but that's counterintuitive because you're going to think that. You're right. Logically thinking, you're going to think that. But that's because you underestimate how the body works. Under stress, the body is designed and equipped to release exponential capacity. Do you know when the stem cells are used up, at a fetal stage to generate the limbs and the different body parts, there are several, whether it's a few million stem cells, they say, but there are still several stem cells that are left remaining. They don't just completely, they don't just wither away. The body actually stores them deep into the bones. And why does it store them? And it's with the entelechy, the potential that should this body ever come under such dire death, encountering stress, that the body will release things. It will release these super, almost nuclear sources of strength that it doesn't know it has. That this is sumu tasehu. Honestly, and look forward to it. Trust me, you're not gonna lose anything. You're not gonna lose size. The amount of people, they stress I'm gonna lose size in the gym. Don't worry about these things. It's gonna come right back. Yeah. You're gonna gain some phenomenal strength. You will have clarity of mind. You will have focus. You think you're worried. It will also show you how truly in your independence from food, that you're not dependent. I mean, ultimately, I get it. We all are, but not in the way you think you are. We think we're dependent. Oh my God, I haven't had breakfast. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I haven't had the coffee. Oh my God. Not in that way. We're not in That's all just psychological. So I say, let's use this opportunity. Let's embrace, but be weary. Don't flood your system at iftari time with all this nonsense and fatty, kind of unhealthy junk. Be a bit, treat your body like the temple that it is. And with that in mind, let's take this opportunity to explore even a bit, if we can, of the Quran. Even a bit. Just let's try. We're going to surprise ourselves. I'm telling you. You're going to think, I'm busy. A little bit. You're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. But let's just try. So this is what I wanted to say. Yes, sir, Allah. Allah make things easy. Ameen.